something you got from some park, a jersey, something you spent too much money on that was stupid. You need to know that you can raise money.
Yeah.
If you don't want to sell any of your shit, then go to the street corner. Go get on the street corner and go stop cars and say, give me 20.
Right.
Or just raise it to 100.
You think cold
call?
Why
Mormons are so successful, dude.
Because they take their kids and they make a cold call salesman. That's great. That's an example. The more you don't have to be Mormon to learn the principle. Is that sticking people there and saying,
confront.
Go get over your fear. People are afraid.
Confront.
I tell people you should only be afraid of one thing, and that's living a crappy life.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like being turned down is part of the game.
Yeah, and like my real estate background. I'm not transitioning here, but I've never read a book on real estate.
Yep.
And I'm not bragging about that.
He's written some books,
but not on real estate. But
that's coming next. You can have a real. I know you, Grant.
But I have walked so much real estate.
Just don't have an NED book. I'm not promoting the NED book. I'm out.
Rents go up when you solve the NED issue.
I'll have a RFP.
But see, a lot of people read books. I think you'll disagree with me a little bit on this.
It's good to disagree. People like that. Drama sells.
But I think the people that do read too many books.
Depends on how fast you read.
Yeah, but you can get too much information.
Yeah, that's hard.
Huh?
If you follow my 50-50 rule, you'll be good. 50% a wise general plans but doesn't overplan, and a wise general attacks but doesn't overattack.
I guarantee you there's at least 8 to 10 people that you've read that were miserable motherfuckers.
That I've read about?
You've read their books.
Oh, yeah.
That had failing marriages, could have committed suicide, freaking junkies. I'm like, who do you want to learn from? You guys got to start picking who you going to learn
from. I don't just read. I read from. I try business. I read from the best.
Me and you have different styles.
Yeah.
Like, really different, right? But I think we agree on more points than we don't.
Of course.
So people need to pick 1 or 2 people.
Yes.
I'd go deep on a guy before I go shallow on a bunch of people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I go deep on Warren Buffett. I think he's the best businessman walking our planet by far. I read his, he puts out an annual newsletter.
Deep on Warren.
Oh, hell yeah. My business partner, you got Warren Buffett basically God.
And by the way, why does Warren diversify? Not because he wanted to. Because
he has so much cash.
So much money.
He's got 100
billion.
billion.
By the way, when he goes, okay, he goes all in.
He does 2 deals on average a year since 1965. Yeah. He's done about 75 deals, a little bit more. Let's say 100 main deals. He has 75 holding company, make $200 billion a year. So there's good money.
You look good tonight, man.
Me?
You look good, man.
I thought you were talking to the camera.
No, you look good.
Give him a little. You're not gonna try to keep up with you one way or another.
You look good, man.
Just with a suit. So somebody say he has 400 million. Yeah. What Buffett does? Here's Buffett's philosophy. Buffett basically says, we'll get this on Snap. Flash it always. One of the things that Buffett says is, if you want to get rich, put all your eggs in one basket, but watch the basket. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't diversify. What he's saying is what you're saying. You must focus. And I say you can build multiple streams of income, but you got to build them one at a time.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like building a house. And you got the first floor before the second. You can't do half first and half second.
The first floor.
No.
Don't get the first floor, build the second floor, and say, okay, now I'm going to bulldoze the first floor. That's what a lot of you guys do. You got one string coming, you add a second one, and you freaking neglect the first one, and you end up with half.
Exactly.
So rather than 2. So what I did was, I took my first job. I never left that first job. Still today, I'm still doing that first job. I never leave that first job. Then what I do is I add a symbiotic flow.
Cumulative.
I try to symbiotic the first one, so whatever I'm doing here, it moves this one.
That's like Confucius said, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. But you can catch 1 rabbit and then move on to the next rabbit.
What we say in Louisiana is you catch a fucking rabbit, you barbecue him. You eat him. You eat that rabbit. Like that. You eat that rabbit.
That is a little more southern version of Confucius's.
Why you chase a rabbit if you're not going to eat him? That's just dumb.
What if you're selling the fur?
Huh? Well, then you
what if you want to rabbit for your daughter?
I like that idea. Eat the rabbit, sell the fur. NED. Hashtag NED.
Hashtag. That is not. Do not do that on grants. That's good. So next question. I want to take a question that I saw come up here live. Okay. So somebody said, "How do you invest if you don't have any money?"
Go get money.
Okay. So how do you go get money?
Who's got your money, dude?
You went out. You said you told me you started
money.
You were able to borrow some money.
3,000. Just so everybody knows, because some people compare me to Donald Trump, right? I borrowed $3,000 from my mom, and I paid her back 30 days later.
So what is the message though you had to say? What do you have to say to her to get her
I went to my
to
mom
give you
and I said,
$3,000?
Mom, I need to learn car sales. I found this program. I want to learn. She's like, you don't even like car sales. I know. I don't like it. I need to learn it. I need to learn how to do this, and then I'm going to quit it. I have to get.
And you bought a tape. So you bought like old VHS.
Oh, beta.
What was the name of the guy?
Jackie Cooper.
Jackie Cooper. Isn't that a baseball player?
No. That's Jackie Robinson.
Oh, Jackie.
So
who's Jackie Cooper?
A lot of baseball players have sold cars.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so
and a lot of athletes lose all their money and then go back to selling cars after they play.
And some people here are going to be like, oh, he's a car salesman. He sounds like a car salesman. You guys need to quit hating on shit you don't understand. I'm telling you. You need to quit hating. So many people out there, I don't want to do that job. I don't want to make somebody else rich. You guys got the wrong ideas. If you're going to get rich, it's because you're going to help somebody else get rich.
Yeah. Okay, Joel Salatin told me a man or woman can do anything as long as it's not forever. So don't be too picky when you're completely broke. You can do anything as long as you're not locking yourself into a 30-year bad run into nasty business.
But be willing to do anything, even when you get to the top of the food chain. The guys that I know that are really successful and happy, they'll pick up a broom.
Yeah, but you don't want to. When you're at the top, you're not sweeping every day.
Yeah.
You step in like Google. Some of the CEOs of the largest company in the world, they'll go do customer support twice, 2 days a month.
Right?
Yeah, you got to always keep connected, but you should delegate out as you build. So how do you build your business? You can't do it. How do you delegate?
Well, I mean, I just do as much as I can.
Because you have a big team.
Yeah.
Do you have what? How many people in there in Florida? I came to your office.
We have 70 people there, another 150 in the real estate.
Do you use a traditional hierarchy? You got a CEO, you got bosses?
Not really. I need more of that.
Yeah.
I was with the founder of ABC Mouse today, 600 employees.
Yeah.
Place is so organized, man. It's just like.
So that's not your forte?
No, I'm not a good organizer, but I need to learn that game.
Yeah.
So there's always something to learn, right? But
what are you reading these days? You don't read much, you say.
Well,
what do you read? What's a book that's changed your life besides your book?
All I've been reading right now is real estate.
You've been reading the deals.
Performance and deals.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been reading so many deals right now. Like,
what's got you excited?
The real estate. I think it's a huge play. I think that we're in the next cycle for apartments is going to last 35 years.
Are you worried about a depression?
No.
Because you'll be buying cheap.
No, I'll be. A contraction would help me.
That's what I'm saying.
It would help.
If there's a contraction and recession and you're on the right end of the deal, you'll do better.
What happens with my real estate is my real estate can go down in value, but I'm not selling it.
Right.
That value.
As long as the cash flow's there.
The cash flow doesn't
as long as
change.
they pay rent.
Like in 2008 and 2009, I kept getting rent, man. The rent never stopped.
Yeah.
So that's, as long as you have cash flow, this is what people don't understand. As long as you have cash flow, you don't lose.
Yes.
Because if I have time, apartments double every 10 years. Every 10 years, I get a double. I'm going to get it no matter from the top, from the bottom. I'm going to get a double. Okay. Most of the stuff that I buy, we look for a 300% return over 8 to 10 years.
And that's counting accumulated cash flow, retained cash.
And we just wait for that part of the cycle where I want to sell now.
Yeah.
So
you want to
it's
sell?
indestructible because we're going to become Europe here, where it's unaffordable. It's unaffordable to buy a house.
You think so? You think America's headed in the direction of Europe?
We have the lowest home ownership in America that we've had since
Grant's saying
40
that
years.
he thinks America's going to become like Europe.
No doubt.
Because
we're there now.
People used to only spend about 25% of their income on housing. Now it's going up. In Europe, people spend 50, 60%.
We have the highest lease rates in the history of the automobile industry.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because people can't own.
Yeah.
They don't have the down payment. They don't have the monthly payment. And it's becoming cool to use rather than own.
Yeah.
Right? So I lease my Rolls.
It's better to lease cars.
Okay.
And it depends on if you have a business or not. In America, if you don't have a business, if you're an employee, you can't usually deduct a lease.
Yeah.
So that's why
I rent my home. But all you homeowners out there, you're getting all your tax deductions are about to change right now.
Yeah.
So
you think for the better or for the worse?
For the worse.
Yeah.
For home ownership, and it should. It's a dumb investment for you. So we'll get a lot of. The home ownership thing is like people are so like, no, that's my thing. It's a dumb thing.
A lot of antiquated ideas.
Yeah. Like I own a company.
The new Europe.
I own a company that I can rent from. So I can own this structure in a structure. And then rent for myself.
Back to get the tax deduction.
Exactly. So I get 100% of all the great.
Yep. There's a lot of tricks for those of you as you get bigger in the game of business. There's a tremendous amount of tools out there when you become sophisticated. Like you said, buying, leasing back to yourself.
Back to that question the guy asked about how do you buy apartments if you don't have any money? You don't. You don't buy anything without money.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why they need something.
Learn how to sell something.
Start a business, sell online, sell something in your home.
Okay. Because most of you don't have any goals. The reason you don't want to sell is because you don't have an end goal. It's what he said. You can do anything for a little while.
Yes.
So I did the sales game so that I didn't want to be a car salesman.
Yep.
I did it so I could get my money.
Yep.
Right?
You planted a seed that have now grown into a large tree.
Now I knew, I can talk to people. I learned a skill set, right? So I'm really thankful to the auto industry for that. But then I took that, saw an opportunity, sold a solution to that industry, got money, took that money and put it in the real estate.
Yep.
I only want to know how to sell because it's survival.
How'd you learn real estate? What got you? Just trial and error?
3 years. I walked apartments every weekend for 3 years.
And how'd you learn?
Didn't buy one deal.
Okay. So you laid the foundation.
That means by the time I was 33 years old, I had looked at probably, I don't know, thousands of units.
That's what, by the way, what Arnold Schwarzenegger did. Arnold Schwarzenegger walked the streets of Santa Monica and he became a millionaire before he was 30, not from acting, not from bodybuilding, but from real estate. The other cool thing about Arnold Schwarzenegger, before the internet.
All apartments, by the way, he wasn't buying homes. He was buying apartments.
And he shipped weights in the mail. Before the internet, you couldn't sell. And so he had a cash flow business that required sales. And then he learned real estate was a reinvestment back into real estate.
Yeah.
So did you learn then after 3 years, you just jumped into a deal?
What happened was I lived in Houston at the time and I walked real estate every weekend. I'd look at deals, didn't buy anything. I was scared.
Yeah.
So I moved from Houston to La Jolla.
Yep.
And I said, if I ever get that feeling again, because if you look enough, you don't get that from books. When you walk properties or look at businesses, you start to get a feeling. Wrong.
You develop your intuition. You develop your gut feeling.
A tuning fork.
Yeah.
Really.
Your spidey sense, so to speak.
Like, oh God, this feels good. So I went to San Diego and I said, if I ever feel that again, I'm going to buy it. It was 1995. I was driving downtown San Diego and I'm with a buddy of mine, Dale, and I'm like, dude, I got this feeling, dude. Something was happening. There was more trucks leaving, what's the truck that moves stuff? U-Hauls were leaving California and they're coming in. And I said, dude, I got the feeling. I'm about 500 units.
Huh. In what year?
1996.
In San Diego?
Yeah.
Where'd you buy 500?
Chula Vista, all the way up to Vista, California.
So by then, had you saved money from car sales that allowed you to put a down payment?
I think I had, at that time I had, my first deal I put $350,000 in my first deal. I had $1 million.
Yep.
From the sales thing.
Yep.
I'm accumulating money for years. I just accumulated, didn't buy the sneakers.
Yeah.
Didn't have a German car.
Yeah.
I had millions of dollars in the bank. You would not have thought my life had changed one bit.
Yeah.
I was printing on double-sided paper. Like if I printed, I'd print it on both sides because I thought it'd save me money.
Yeah. So you took a down payment. How'd you talk the banks to giving you your first deal?
Well, I was qualified. I had good credit, and I had $350,000 to put down. The deal was $1.9 million. I put 25% down.
50 units for $2 million?
It was 38 units. 38 units.
Oof.
Okay.
Times have changed in San Diego.
Yeah,
Boy.
you're like, I should have bought all that. Yeah, everybody should have bought all that. The bank didn't want to give me a loan.
Yeah, I was too young for it.
First two banks told me no.
Yep.
Third bank said, let's do the deal. I bought 38 units. Second deal was bought 30 days later, 48 units. Third deal was bought about 3 months later, 90 units. I'm like, dude, I'm going. And I was collecting money every month.
Yeah.
So I'm like.
Was it positive cash flow right on day one?
Day one.
Yeah.
Everything we buy is positive for day one.
Even now?
Even now.
So you're having to look at a lot of deals because a lot of deals you get out there they're banking on appreciation, so they're not cash flow positive on day one.
I used to look at 25 deals to buy one. Now we're looking at hundreds.
Yeah.
To buy one.
So what's your process now? Do you have people help you, or do you literally sit at your desk and just flip through them yourselves?
Dude, I walk every deal.
Yeah. So you look at it.
I am the picker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the picker.
Yeah.
So I got a big team that helps me go over numbers.
So they filter it down, then you get on the plane and go look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many deals do you find per year that filter? Get through your filter?
We have 3 deals in contract right now. So I looked at, to get those 3 deals, I looked at 10,000 units.
Yeah.
That'll be about 1,000 units.
Yep. What's the goal? You said 4,000 units?
No, we're at 4,000 now. We'll be at 5,000 by the end of the year. We'll be at 10,000 probably in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe faster.
Yeah. And is that the goal? 10,000?
40,000.
40,000.
40,000. I want to bring the whole package to Wall Street.
You can do what's called a REIT roll-up.
Yeah.
That's great. If you own enough real estate, there's huge tax advantages. This is one of the things that not everybody gets access to, because a REIT roll-up, you got to have $1 billion or $2 billion. In real estate, but then you get you basically walk out, you exchange your real estate for REIT shares,
right?
But you don't pay that much taxes. The name of the game too, and one of the good things about real estate and business, by the way, is that you got to control taxes. And if you're only a W-2 employee, but tax code does not favor you like it does somebody who has real estate, and somebody who has.
I mean, one of the reasons I lived here for 25 years here in California, I lived up the street.
You ran from California with it.
As soon as they did their jack.
Yeah.
As soon as they did their hey.
And he's in Florida, no state tax.
So
there's a couple places with no state tax.
That wasn't for me. Like you don't know it until you do it, but all you do is you reinvest all the money.
Yep.
It's not like you keep the money when you save state taxes.
Right. So you're a believer lower taxes.
So
yeah. Because that's what people. One of the things I realized, America's so financially illiterate. People don't realize the way money works. It's not like Bill Gates, richest man in the world, takes all his money and sits on it like the Hobbit, dragon sitting on a big chest of gold. No, they redeploy it back into the world. So trickle-down economics is somewhat controversial, but the basic concept is, look what happened in California. They raised taxes. You left.
I left, man.
And if they raise taxes too much in Florida, my buddies are all leaving, going to Virgin Islands. They're going to Caymans. They leave America. Apple's in Ireland.
Where do you think I'm buying real estate?
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy anything in this state.
Let me post this real quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything here. This is a broken state, man. You don't just raise taxes here, okay? That 3.5% they raised taxes in California did not solve their problem. Parking tickets went up the next day, okay? Right? Parking tickets, like everything went up, man. StubHub made. I can buy tickets on StubHub in Houston.
Yep.
And I can buy them in California. It's like double here.
Yeah, because of the taxes.
On the fees, because of the taxes. So why? Because the state is broken. Okay. You park a car over on Rodeo Drive, and if you have 20 minutes on that thing and they chalk you, dude, in 21 minutes you got a ticket.
Yeah.
The state's broken.
Yeah. So how would you? If you were the governor, if you were the president.
No, I would
how do you fix California?
Tell everybody to move.
I am now the governor of California. Everybody leave. This is my solution.
No, you guys should move. What the governor should have done is he should have taken taxes down to like 6%.
Yeah. But I'm saying, would you just drop taxes?
He needs to admit he's broken.
Yeah.
He's paying firemen and policemen $130,000 a year because they made a commitment to pay him years ago, and now they found out they can't. Sooner or later, you got to renegotiate a deal.
Yeah.
There comes a deal. There comes a time in a relationship where you got to go back to your partner and say, dude, this doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Me and you do a deal. Let's say we do a deal.
Yep.
We go down the road, everything's fine for 2 or 3 years, and then something changes. Man, we got to do another deal. This deal doesn't work anymore.
So you're saying bureaucracy has zero flexibility, and that's one of the big problems.
Nobody will confront the beast, man. You guys all need to confront. This goes back to what I said. Go sell your fucking sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Get your money. Confront the beast that you can solve the first problem, which is I got a money problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Confront your friends, all those losers you're hanging out with.
One of the things that I posted today, one of the most important things you can do, if once a year you're not pushing one person out of your social circle and bringing one better person in, you're doing something wrong.
You're not going to be able.
You're doing something wrong.
You can't bring new people in without pushing somebody else.
Yes.
The room can only be so big.
Yes.
Can only be so many people.
But even more important than the reason you're pushing people out, it's not like Stalin. You're not doing a purge just for a purge. Stalin used to purge people for no reason.
Maybe you are.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to be Stalin to my friend. But the point is,
maybe you purge.
There's no way that all people in your life have your best interest at heart.
No,
there's zero way. Even your own family, even your own family.
Best interest at heart.
Yeah, well, no, the self-destruction is another problem.
From the age of 16 to 25, I was my biggest enemy.
Yeah.
I could have purged myself. My mom told my friends, don't spend time with my son. He's trouble.
Really? Your own son?
My mother told other people, Ty, stay away from Grant, he's trouble.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for 1 second. Yeah. As you make more money, what are some of the common things you found that people are going to have to learn to deal with? One is your own family turning against you.
Yeah, they think you know.
I've seen that too. Trust me. It might not be your mom. It will be a cousin. How do you deal with criticism and hate?
I just fly.
You just fly.
Yeah,
I say just dance.
I say fly, man.
Fly. So you fly.
The haters. I believe that the haters not really hating me. They're talking to themselves.
Right.
They're not talking. Oh, Ty Lopez, this or that. You're talking about his Lambo or his whatever. You're not talking about Ty. You're talking about yourself. Yeah. Most people that hate don't have enough. Like, there's not enough. You can't create and hate at the same time.
Well, and also remember, there's a lot of people who are Machiavellian, psychotic, sociopaths. So it's been proven, almost everybody who hates, if you post something on your Facebook wall of an accomplishment you did, new job, you get 10 nice comments, one person in your social circle writes, oh, well, good for you. Guarantee you, they have massive psychological problems.
Yeah.
Send them to the dark triad test.
Look, I just think that people, I've been in a place where I was envious before, where I'm like, I can't like what you're doing because I'm envious of it. So my first response is, I don't like his cars, or I don't like his jacket, or I don't like his hair.
Yeah.
Who would not like your hair?
My hair is a recurring thing.
Somebody's losing hair. Right. So why does he wear that jacket? Well, what jacket do you have on? So haters gonna hate. They're just gonna do their deal.
You know what I tell people? What amazes me is there's actually people who will go log into their YouTube account, go into someone and type even if I hate somebody, I love my own time enough that there's zero. So I'm like, that's the stupidity level of planet Earth.
Haters can't create.
Yeah, not only can they create, they can't manage time.
Yeah.
And if you hate somebody, you move on.
Like that hater doesn't have an avatar. Most of you guys have. Some of you guys have. This is crazy. Like blocked Instagram, private Instagram accounts.
People like to dish, but they don't like to take. They'll dish it, but you go on. There was a guy who came and said something mean about my 99-year-old grandma, and I posted on Snapchat, I wish we live in a world where I could beat this guy's ass without going to jail. And I shouldn't have posted that necessarily. Maybe I should have, but this dude basically DM'd me. He goes, I'm gonna have to delete my career. 30,000 model in LA, dude. He goes, I'm getting death threats. So at the end of the day, he realized that it's better to just have a one-track mind, put your blinders on like horse, and move forward. There's always people doing stuff you don't agree with. Yeah. Take the best, like Abraham Lincoln said.
You guys that spend time hating on Donald Trump, man, you just wasted time in internet.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln said, he learned something from everybody, even if sometimes it was what not to do. There's a lesson in that.
Totally.
So you look at the Kardashians, you see Kylie Jenner. She just passed 450 million in sales on her lipstick kits in under 18 months. So people hate on the Kardashians. I'm like, look, they're going to do what they do. Take your blinders, focus on what the Kardashians do that's created $1 billion empire from freaking Instagram and Snapchat. That's the lesson for everybody here. There's not enough time to go, oh, well, Kylie's a name. I mean, who cares? Dude, if people ain't killing somebody, leave them alone.
If you don't like what she did, figure out how to do what you can. Like the guy I was with today, Doug Doring, that runs ABC Mouse. Man, impeccable businessman.
What is ABC Mouse?
ABC Mouse. ABC Mouse is a learning, online learning platform for kids.
I thought it was related to ABC.
ABC
like
Mouse.
NBC. You came out here to Hollywood. You say ABC.
How many countries is he in now? 18. He's a multi-billion-dollar company. But the guy's such a classy dude.
Yeah.
Nice, humble, 5 beautiful kids, great marriage. Like the whole package.
Yeah.
Doesn't drink, doesn't drug, gives to his church. Just like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't need all the, I just want to take care of my family, my community. I want to be a good example. The thing that I'm going to leave is not the money I made. It's going to be, did I help somebody along the way?
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a young Ty come up, 30 years from now. This is, I studied. Maybe he's your grandson. Maybe he's your grandson. Little Ty. T3.
T3. There we go. We got CP3 down in Houston. Now we got T3.
And
we're going to have GC3.
Yeah.
You got daughters. Your daughter's going to run the world.
Yeah.
Got the next president.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
So I want to wrap up with one final thing.
Please.
I want you to pick this laptop winner.
Okay. I'll pick a laptop winner.
Now, Grant, what do we got here we're giving away? MacBook Air, 13-inch, 13.3, 1.8 gigahertz.
It's so small. Okay, so here's the deal. What did I say about, there's a principle I shared about multiple flows of income. There's one most important thing.
But I'm not even sure I know what it is. Oh, okay. Okay, see if anybody can get this. What's the principle that he gave?
About, I didn't say diversify. Oh, there it is.
Wait, what'd they say?
He said exactly what it was.
We can go down.
Never, man.
Sean, Sahihi. Don't let go.
Not that one. No, not right there.
Oh,
Whizzle 89, dude.
Whizzle. Never Drizzle. Whizzle 89 on YouTube.
And NED, dog. NED.
No, NED. You can win.
Whizzle Drizzle.
You can go to Grant's channel. Where can people find you, Grant? Best place.
Best place is, just probably Google search me. If you don't know who I am, you should go do a search.
You got GrantCardone.com too?
GrantCardone.com.
And you can write on his Insta NED.
And I'm giving $1 million away here over the next 6 months.
Is it in 100 grand bars? 10 of these?
It's cash. No, it's real cash. We've given out 135,000 in cash already.
Go follow him if you want a chance at some of $1 million.
All you got to do is post an image of me and Ty together, okay? Or me by myself. Who's got the best hair? How old are you, dude? I'll say how old I am. Well, you won't tell me. Really.
Let me tell you something about Grant that I learned.
His beard looks like my hair. Okay.
Let me tell you about Grant.
Say, look.
Grant exudes
confidence.
Right? So one of the lessons, you got to learn to read between the lines. Grant is a confident man, and there's power in confidence.
Yeah.
So let's end with that.
And by the way, confidence can be learned. Okay, it can be learned. So
one of my mentors says your confidence is your confidence. You got to be confident at something. Get good at something. You'll get confident.
Confident to be confident. I want to bring your audience a sales program that's affordable, that they can use, and that we can really change a bunch of lives with.
We're working on a joint project, so be watching for this. Hey, will you say that on Snapchat? I don't even know he's going to give me a compliment. Can you do it twice?
I don't think I can do it twice.
That's right.
I don't think I can do that twice.
The second one, Grant has a lot of confidence. He can compliment you once per lifetime.
I don't think I can do another one. Can I do another one? Did I just want to tell you I got mad?
Wait for the like.
What do you mean take one? It's going to be the only take, okay? The second time, I ain't doing shit 3 times, okay? Look, I got mad admiration for what you've done online and the business you've created, and the people know you.
I appreciate it.
So I hope to be just like you one day.
You already passed me, man. Well, good. Well, thank you guys so much. We had a ton of people on here. And for Grant's audience, for my audience, go check out his stuff. Follow him on Insta. And when you follow him, be like, yo, Ty sent me.
Yeah, do that, you know.
A little Ty sent me, and we'll go from there.
Little Ty.
That sounded good. All right, everybody. Peace. Who's here? What's up, Grant Cardone? What's up, my man?
Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
He's in town for that Dodgers-Astros game.
You mean that Dodgers whoop ass?
Don't start trouble in Los Angeles. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How long have you been an Astros fan?
Ever since I started investing in Houston real estate. Number one, honest answer.
Grant is smart. He knows that most business deals are not.
Clock. Pumping out entertaining, educational content and giving away an insane amount of prizes, including, at last count, 10 cars. He is the capital D Don of the rich and famous entrepreneurial lifestyle for the millennial generation. But to be blinded by the glitz and glamour of his life would be to miss the point entirely. If you look beyond the hype and the conspiracy theories about this guy, his one consistent message is develop your mind. Love him or hate him, nothing was handed to him. And his earliest mentor, even all these years later, is still quick to point out that he's never seen another apprentice with the drive and determination that today's guest has. So please, help me in welcoming the man who has read over 5,000 books and has a book club and podcast that now reaches 1.4 million people in 40 countries. The new media mogul and serial entrepreneur, Ty Lopez. Thank you. Good to have you on. It was a lot of fun being on your show earlier today, so to now get to flip the tables is, I'm super stoked. I want to get into some of the stuff that I found just incredibly intriguing, starting with what you said about the Amish being some of the happiest people that you've ever met. In fact, your quote was, the happiest I've ever been in my life was with the Amish. It's been downhill since then, which you said like tongue-in-cheek, but walk us through that. How did you end up there, and what is it about them that makes them so happy?
So how did I end up there? You know, I think one of my business partners now got a PhD in multi-objective optimization, basically how to do lots of things at once. And he told me a couple years ago, he goes, you know what my conclusion is? After 12 years of study at Berkeley, it's all BS. You can only optimize for one thing at a time. So as I look back at my life, I think without knowing it, now I'm a little more clear, I've optimized for like adventure. And so there was a point in my life, I had an okay upbringing, but my dad was in prison when I was born. My mom was married and divorced a few times, and a lot of conflict. And at some point in my life, I picked up this book called Amish Society by Hostetler, this professor. And I was fascinated. I was like, these people, these Amish people, have something that no one else in the United States and really the world has. And I was like, I'm gonna try an adventure. So I got on a bus, went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I went to this little called Bird in Hand. I'll never forget. I got off the bus, walked to this farm. This guy, Dan, I'd written him a letter and he said, you can come visit me. So I go, and it was instantly like being in a time machine back in the 1800s. I walked in the barn and he was shoveling apple pomace, which is when you make apple juice, you get the byproduct is this little fruit stuff. He was feeding his cows, and it was him and his 2 sons barefoot. That was my introduction to a new adventure in my life, which I pretty much tried to keep replicating. I mean, people see me doing social media and cars and all that, but it's still the same thing. I'm a little bit like you. Like, if you think about life, you can be nihilistic about life. Like, what's the purpose? At the end of the day, you can dissect anything and go, what's the purpose? Some people go, you know, I want to make $1 billion. And you can say to them, what's the purpose? We all die. We all end up in the same small grave at the end of the day. And you can say, I want to become super intelligent. I want to get married and have kids. At the end of the day, all flesh is grass, and you disappear just like the grass eventually. So for me, the best guess I had, and maybe other people, you know, some people have spiritual things and all that, and the best guess I've ever come up with is like, if every day you wake up and you go, I don't have it all figured out, let's jump into something crazy and see what happens. And that's how I got started on social media. I started really dabbling with it in 2012, 2013, and then in 2014, someone was like, you should do YouTube, it's gonna be big. So I was like, let's try a new adventure, and I just started shooting my first videos in January 25th, 2015, sorry, I put out this video, and it's ended up cumulatively, different versions have like 600 million views. It's gotten a lot of views.
Here in my garage?
Here in my garage, and some other similar garage-themed ones. Everybody should try to be rich and famous at least once, and should get it just to realize it's not as good as you think. But the adventure part's cool. And also, when I say adventure, I also mean gaining insight into life. The biggest thing I've learned, if I could be 18 again, I wish somebody had told me, basically nobody knows what they're doing. Even the adults, you think, you know, everybody's lost, and the world's a blind leading the blind. So the ultimate adventure to me is not just like bungee jumping or something like that, or going to Amish. It's trying to get insight and see life as a puzzle. And your goal in life is to seek the adventures that piece the puzzle together. So that at the end of your life, you like kind of get it. You kind of get it. I feel like most people don't get what life is. Like, think about it. It's like, what is life? Like, why are we driven with some basic instincts? What's the purpose? You know, I like evolutionary psychology. So all these things have kind of led me down this bizarre place, and here I am with you.
All right, so I know that you actually have a definition of the good life around the 4 pillars. What are the 4 pillars, and how does it play into everything?
So yeah, I always say health, wealth, love, happiness, like kind of in that order. If you're not healthy, you won't care about anything. So I figured health is the trump card, and then the reason I put money second over love, it doesn't mean like you should try to get rich before love. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the classic kind of way to be happy, there's 5 levels in Maslow. So the bottom one is physiological or physical needs have to be met, food, shelter, water. The second one is safety. You have to feel safe. The third one is love. And because if you don't have physical and safety right, you don't care about love. And if you don't believe me, look up the number 1 reason people get divorced. It's financial issues. So I just figured money doesn't bring happiness, but the absence of money brings unhappiness. This has been proven all over and over. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner, he said, you know, if you make less than 72 grand in America, he's found your happiness suffers because your stress goes up. So I figure you don't have to be wealthy. When I say wealth, it doesn't necessarily mean like Forbes list. It means you have to have your physical needs met, and you have to have a margin of safety, some money in the bank account. If every paycheck you're freaked out, your love life is going to suffer. And then the top two of Maslow's hierarchy of needs then become, respect. And then the last one, the highest pinnacle, is like a higher purpose, or people call it spiritual. So health, wealth, and then love. And then if you get those three, that's how you get happiness. Like happiness, there's so many books now about happiness. There's a good one called Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. But at the core thing, to me, happiness is like soup. It's like if you make chicken noodle soup, but you forget the chicken, it's not chicken noodle soup. If you forget to put the broth in, it's just chicken and noodles. If you forget the noodles, so that's what I mean. Like happiness is a compilation of a whole bunch of stuff you do right. So I think I haven't found a better way to think about it.
So how do you go about, like, give some tactics. How do you tactically optimize for them? Do you attack them sequentially? Do you make real-time calls about, like, oh, I'm a little low on happiness or love or whatever? Like, how do you play that?
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't optimize for the last one. I try to get the first three right. Steve Jobs said he didn't want to be the richest man in the graveyard. Do you want to be the richest man in the graveyard? I want to be the happiest man on the way to the graveyard. And some of that, you have to postpone pleasure. A good investor is somebody who postpones present pleasure for future gain. And you can do that. You work hard in the day. Some stuff's a pain in the butt. I built lots of businesses. I know what it is to be an entrepreneur. I'm saying I know that chess move, and what I'm telling you is 2 chess moves past that chess move. Optimizing your life for hustling and grinding is like optimizing your life around going pee. No, pee is something you have to do. It's not the goal. You don't go, woo! My goal is hit the toilet 7 times a day. No, but you have to do it to survive. So grinding and working hard and hustling is not what you optimize for. It's pain. Why would you optimize for pain? But it is a necessity. And if you look at actual scientific explanation of what makes you successful, it is not just hard work. If that's true, construction workers would be the wealthiest people in the world. Waiters and busboys, they work harder than the owner. The most scientific psychometric personality test is called Hexaco. It's more accurate than Big Five, which used to be. It's much more accurate than Myers-Briggs, INFJ, ENTP, all that stuff. So Hexaco tests you on 26 facets of your personality. And one of them is called conscientiousness. And it's been proven over and over by scientists, conscientiousness is the most correlated pain. And you can do that. You work hard in the day. It's some stuff's a pain in the day. Like something you have to do. It's not the goal. You don't go, woo! What you optimize for. It's pain. Necessity. It is not just hard work. If that's true, construction workers would be the wealthiest people. Psychometric personality test is called Hexaco. It's more accurate than Big Five, which used to be. It's much more accurate than Myers-Briggs, INFJ, ENTP, all that stuff. So Hexaco tests you on 26 facets of your personality. And one of them is called conscientiousness. And it's been proven over and over by scientists, conscientiousness is the most correlated with business success.
Define conscientiousness.
So then it divides into 4 sub-facets. Organization, perfectionism, diligence, and prudence. So the real truth is hard work is 25% of the formula because diligence is known in the common language as hard work, okay? So if you just think diligence alone will get you success, you're like a basketball player that thinks you'll play in the NBA because you can shoot free throws. You ever seen the best free throw shooters in the world? They're old 70-year-old men who shoot underhanded, but they don't play in the NBA because the NBA is not all about free throws. So NBA is scoring, defense, free throws maybe is one component, rebounding, assists is a lot of components. So the other 3 you have to get good at. So the first one is perfectionism. People, you have to know how to double check your work. It's that simple. It doesn't mean you're always a perfectionist, but it means when it's important. When you're a pilot of an airplane, double check before you go. If you get on a plane, you hear the pilots double checking, the co-pilot going, hydraulics. And the guy goes, hydraulics. And that's why planes don't crash. And it's called 6 sigma. It's 3 defects per million. Your goal in business and in life on the important things is to make 3 mistakes per million transactions. And the only way you do that is by being a perfectionist in terms of double checking. So that's 25%. The next one is organization. I can't tell you how much better my life is, and anybody watching this will be if you wake up every single day and you take 10 minutes. I have yellow notepads sitting all around my house. I got that from Bill Gates. Bill Gates built Microsoft at 17 by locking himself in a hotel room with 6 yellow notepads, and he wrote out the whole basic code for DOS and things that built Microsoft. Okay? He became the richest man in the world 18 years straight because he was organized enough to lock himself in a room and think through his day. And so what I try to do, and whenever I do this, I have a great day. Whenever I don't, I notice it. Be organized a little bit, 10 minutes. I actually have this little couch thing outside my shower, and I put a notepad by it. I take a shower when I wake up. I walk over to it. I kind of sit there, and I just write out. I mean, it can be as little as 3 main projects you want to get done that day. So organization is the other 25%. So now, and then you have diligence, which is hard work, hustle, and perseverance. But the last one is the kicker. And this is what I was talking about, the rewiring that has to happen. The last one is something called prudence. Scientists call this prudence. Prudence is the ability to make the right decision. And I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs, even me at times too, I'm not special. I'm lumping all of us in this. Because of our upbringing in society, our goal is, let's say our goal is like that camera right there. So let's assume that's north. So I have this compass in my brain. And my goal is to go right there. Let's say it's a mile away, so north. What happens is society, my upbringing in school, wired my compass exactly backwards. So I think, let's say I can't see that camera, but I know I want to go north. So I pull out my compass, and it points that way. So I just take off walking. And I do it in an organized fashion. I do it in a perfectionist manner. I'm perfecting my steps and my posture. I'm also working on, hard work and hustle. Keep walking towards your goal. Well, the truth is, if you go south when you should go north, you could have gone 1 mile, but the earth is about 24,000 miles in circumference. So you get to walk 24,000 miles, and you'll come up on the backside, and you will get your goal. That's most entrepreneurs. The average person takes 20 years to become a millionaire. 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. 80 to 90, depending on what statistic. Most people, I did the math once, the average American has $60,000 saved by the time they're about 60 years old. So my answer, I did the math, you can do this with a simple financial calculator. Everybody in America, your parents, everybody you know will be a millionaire if they live to 160. At 160 years old, you take 60 grand at age 60 and you give it a decent return on investment, 8%, 10%, you'll be a millionaire at 160. But the problem is, the great philosopher, I think it was Aristotle or Socrates said it, the problem is, art is long, but life is short. The art of living and getting to your objective is long, but it doesn't have to be. It's long if your compass is backwards. So the whole point of what I was saying about adventure at the beginning is, I'm trying to take myself and point it to the true north. And you have to learn that from books and mentors and life experience and listening and finding in-person mentors and all those things. They help adjust your compass. And most people are going to get what they want just about 40 years longer. And I live in Beverly Hills, trust me. You go downtown Beverly Hills. There's other people, like I like to collect cars. It's not so much. I've always liked cars. It's not a materialistic show-off thing like a lot of people think. My grandma said I love cars when I was 1. I used to try to turn the car on in the garage. You go to downtown Beverly Hills, full of Ferraris. The most Ferraris per capita in anywhere in the world. Every one of the guys is 80 or 90. Why do you want a Ferrari at 80 or 90? You want a walker? You gotta walk you into your and then you're gonna get in a Ferrari. You know how dumb you look? To me, at 90, you want to be playing with your grandkids. And I've wondered, like, why the heck is everybody 90 in this town? Excluding people who inherit their money from their dad, and I realized we're set up for failure because we think we're going north, but we're going south. That's why 50% of people who get married or divorced, 80% of businesses fail. That's why 30% of Americans are on some form of antidepressant medication. That's why 60-70% of people are overweight. I mean, in a way, we're kind of fucked, but.
Are there like key principles though that you can use to turn that compass so north actually points north?
Yes. First one is just like Alcoholics Anonymous. Admit you're lost. And that one's hard for people. You tell people, even for me, sometimes I want to think I'm smart and I got it all figured out, and sometimes I'm like, wait a second, I'm still lost. And the acquiescence, the admittance of the fact that you're still lost, it gets you on track a lot faster. So if you're watching this and you feel lost, it's better to just sit down and be like, I'm lost. Because the day you admit you're lost is the day you allow yourself to be found by people who can give you a tip.
But what's the equivalent of that? Because obviously if you're an entrepreneur, nobody's looking for you. So that's the
They are though.
Who is?
They are. You go to Barnes & Noble, people selling their books, they're looking for you as a customer.
So read.
Read. I mean, the fact that people argue with me on this reading thing, and people argue with me about mentors. No, just use your own gut feeling. Is that how you learn English? When you were 2 years old, you use your gut feeling to start conjugating verbs? No, you learn from other people. You learn manners, you learn language, you learn all things valuable. You learn to drive from another person, so it doesn't make sense you learn life. So books are just the mentors who maybe are dead now. You want to learn about Steve Jobs? He ain't allowed to teach you, but you can learn through accumulated wisdom, and that's what it is. Trust me. I meet very few powerful businessmen I've ever met. Don't read a lot. Warren Buffett, who I think is the best businessman by far in the world, he has 75 companies that he pretty much runs, 200 billion in revenue. He reads 8 hours a day. He reads 600. He said he slowed down in his old age. He only reads 500 pages a day. Bill Gates goes on reading vacations. Mark Zuckerberg just started a reading once a week book club on Facebook and already got a couple million followers. And now with audiobooks, there's no excuse. You got YouTube videos. Let this thing run in the background. And it's better if you can find it. I mean, better than books is in-person mentor. That's why I do podcasts. Tom was on my podcast. You're a smart dude. I learned from you. Like I learned from you today. I liked your angle on how to get in physical locations. If you launch a physical product, you want to get it in stores, don't be thirsty. Like I said, Casanova said, be the flame, not the moth. Let them come to you. And that's what you did with Quest. And now you sell 1.5 million bars a day. That's good. So if you can pick up one gold nugget, whether it's from in-person mentor, whether it's from a book, you become very wealthy in knowledge very quickly. One nugget a day. One nugget a day. It's like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, said. Step by step, you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. But you can prepare for the fast spurts by learning step by step. So when the day comes and I launch a physical product, I will hopefully be smart enough and humble enough to be like, I got to sit down. I've never launched a company that did 1.5 million bars. I can download in one conversation with you. Like, you want to become like a supercomputer where you just download smart crap from smart people. And you pick and choose. Like, some people are like, oh, I don't agree with everything you say. I'm like, good, I don't agree with everything I say. Like, a year later, I'm like, wait, I was wrong.
I actually saw a very intriguing piece of content that you did where somebody was trolling you on Twitter,
yes.
And in a move that confused the shit out of me, you decided to call him on Skype or whatever.
I said, let's debate live right now.
And you did, and you kept asking him a question that I thought was so spot on, which he kept refusing to answer, but it was, hey, you're engaging with me, I'm creating all this content about how I've done what I've done, and instead of going, you actually have done something that's pretty interesting, you're heckling me, and instead of being intrigued by my results.
Yes.
And that to me is very interesting. And that like switch in people's minds is either on or off. Either they look at somebody else and they go, whoa, this guy's doing something right, like holy hell. Or they try to find a reason to shut you down, not listen to you, discredit you, whatever the case may be. I thought that was pretty interesting. Talk to us a little bit about that. How often do you see that in people, and do you ever see that mentality in people who are successful?
Like Drake says, if you don't have haters, you ain't popping. So welcome to the world. You want to pop, you're going to get hate. It's interesting. This fascinates me. The more successful, beyond my wildest dreams of my success, the more they ask me questions. The last time I saw Elon Musk, I've had some very interesting conversations with this guy. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. Elon Musk, we've talked, I'm not a close friend of his by any means, but we've talked, he goes to the same things. He loves Hollywood. He's always at red carpet things I go to. So we're in the bathroom, and he comes in. I said, hey, Elon, we talked about books last time. He goes, oh yeah, I remember you're the social media guy. He goes, I got a question for you, man. Do you think I should use Snapchat to grow Tesla? So I was like, okay. He goes, I know you know about Snapchat. Tell me. So I started talking to him. 20 minutes later, it was a Game of Thrones premiere, the 6th. And I go, what do you think? After I gave my long diatribe, he goes, I think you're wrong, but thank you. And then he walked off. And I was like, this guy is so smart. I realized, you talk about checkmate. I was an idiot because I should have flipped the conversation to get him to teach me for 20 minutes. He walked in the room knowing what he knew. I knew what I knew. But I gave him all my jewels, and he walked away with them like a smart guy. I see people making fun of the Kardashians. I'm like, you're going to make fun of the Kardashians? Look, Kylie Jenner, the youngest Kardashian, in the last 18 months, has done $400 million in revenue on lipstick kits and various makeup things with Kylie Cosmetics. Put that in perspective. L'Oreal, Maybelline, massive brands. It took them 50 years as an organization with thousands of employees to do what Kylie Jenner did by herself at 20, at 18. You're going to laugh at the Kardashians? Do you have to agree with everything the Kardashians? No. But like Abraham Lincoln said, I learn from everybody, even sometimes it's what not to do. So you can just go into the Kardashians, reverse engineer their success, go, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like that, then leave out what you don't like. I've never met a person who's a deity. You dissect anybody, and we all are just, it's like Mark Twain said, all humans are like the moon. You got your light side and you have the dark side. If anybody watching wants their whole life projected up on a screen for the whole world to watch, from birth to today, and you think that you wouldn't be embarrassed of a few things, you would be. I'm sure the Kardashians would be. And I'm sure there's things that I look back in my life and I'm like, you're an idiot, Ty. But welcome to the idiot place called planet Earth. There's just two kinds of idiots, people who know it and people who don't. And if you're lost, just sit down. If you're an entrepreneur, sit down and then reach out from where you're sitting. Grab a book here, grab this, listen to Tom. Listen, there's so many sources. And now we're the most spoiled generation in the world because when you and I started Google AdWords in 2001. Okay, I got lucky. I just stumbled and I was one of the first people to ever use online advertising. I was in, I think, the second month Google AdWords launched. Whoa. And there was no YouTube videos. There was no Perry Marshall books. There was nothing. You just kind of wasted money to learn. Now, we're the most spoiled generation. Everything, this computer on this phone, iPhone 7, is more powerful than the first rocket that put man on the moon. That cost billions of dollars. Now we get that for under $1,000. And people are still like, I'm lost. Yes, you're lost. Sit down and then open up Safari and go, how to do Google ads. And you're going to come up, let's see what I come up with. AdWords, they have their own tutorial. WordStream, Jumpify, you got some paid stuff. Then you have some free stuff on HubSpot. If you sit in a chair, Charlie Munger calls it assiduity. Put your ass in a chair. Sit there and focus without being, the average American right now, the average person in the world, our attention span has dropped to 5 seconds. The sad news is the average goldfish has 6 seconds. We're now competing with goldfish and the goldfish are winning. So if you don't have assiduity to sit down, read, there is no solution for you. You will always be bored because you'll always be beat by somebody who's willing to sit in a chair.
Is there a way for people to build that discipline?
Yes, pain. And that's why I'm not a big believer in delusion. You ask me, one of the rewiring things we have to do in this world. I'll tell you one. You ever heard this myth? Everything happens for a reason, so just accept it. Well, there's kind of truth to that. If I jump off a building and break my legs, yes, everything happened for a reason. The reason was gravity. Like that's why you break your legs in physics. Legs brittle, concrete not brittle. So, but people interpret everything happens for a reason and be like, well, I was meant to learn from that thing, and then BS. Read Richard Dawkins' The Selfish Gene, one of the most important books written in the last century. He says organisms that only learn through trial and error lose to organisms that can learn through other people's trial and error. Is anybody here, we got little live bodies, anybody here ever had to be hit by a car to learn to look both ways? I didn't. I kind of learned from just somebody telling me, big car, 2 tons, velocity, smash, dead. And I now always look both ways. So if your myth is that the only way you're going to learn is just through massive mistakes and trial and error, you haven't read Richard Dawkins' book, if you believe in evolution, or even you don't, you believe in creationism or whatever, why do we have big brains? Because we do have the biggest brains on planet Earth. Not always use them, but we got the biggest potential. It's to be able to, what Richard Dawkins called, project. So you can literally sit in this chair and predict outcomes without having to do them. Like, so I can predict, if I don't listen to Tom's advice on how to do a physical snack bar and get it into stores or physical product by playing hard to get for a year like you did, then I can predict most likely it's going to not go well for me. But I can predict that if I download what you did, it's going to go better for me statistically. And that skill makes you a powerful person. Very powerful.
So explain how does pain allow somebody to get more disciplined?
Okay, so going back to that myth of when you see your life and anytime there should be pain, you go, no, 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 no. It was just how it was meant to be. No, look yourself in the mirror sometimes and go, you know why I'm not happy? It's because I didn't listen 10 years ago and I got in the wrong career. You know I'm not happy? Because I married the wrong damn person. It wasn't meant to happen. Yes, everything happens for a reason. You made a bad choice. But it didn't have to be that way. And the second you build up pain, and this, by the way, is not my opinion. If you talk to guys like Dr. David Buss, top 10 most cited psychologist in history, okay? He's one of my main mentors. He told me, I said, do adults change? Like, we do all this self-help videos and podcasts. I said, am I wasting my time? He goes, yeah, kind of. I said, why? He said, well, after 25, it's very hard to teach old dogs new tricks. By the way, that's why I've changed. Most of my stuff targets people 18 to 25. That's why I do Snapchat and all that. Because there's hope for 18 to 25. Now, if you're over 25, before you get depressed, he told me, but I have good news for you. I said, what? He said, adults learn through massive trauma. So you will learn. You have to let in some trauma into your life. And that's rough, but no pain, no gain. Like if you are 100 pounds overweight and you want to be able to play basketball, here's my news for you. Everything happened for a reason. You got fat because you ate too much and you didn't exercise. So welcome to the gym. And the first year is going to be hell. But that pain, hopefully, will reprogram your brain. And every time you want to eat that nasty thing, go, wait, I don't want to go through that pain. So I think one of the myths of society is we won't let pain in. We just excuse it all the way. Like, no, that was meant to happen. Oh, you wasted 20 years of life, married the wrong person in the wrong career? No, it wasn't meant to happen. Where's the people who go, you fucked up, dude. You wasted 20 years and you will never get it back. You better go in your room and cry. And the truth is, you only learn as an adult. Unfortunately, most people can only change the maximum. And it was funny. I heard this from Dr. Buss a couple years ago, and I was lucky enough to sit next to Kobe Bryant for the last like 3 games of his career. Not the very last one, but the 3 ones. So I sat at the end of the Lakers bench right next to him. One of his players, I won't say who, was having a bad game. Free throws, they're lined up, the whole stadium's quiet. Kobe Bryant yells out and he goes, dude, you suck. And he wasn't joking. Okay? It was shocking to me. No one could hear it unless you're right next. But Kobe turned to Men of World Peace, Ron Artest, who was sitting next to him, and he goes, this positive reinforcement thing is way overrated. People need to hear the truth. Ryan Kelly. He turned around and looked at Kobe, and I was so impressed. He said, I know. He literally sat down and said, yep, I'm lost this game. And I kid you not, the rest of the game, he excelled. He scored like 10, 12 points off the bench after that. And I was like, see, this Kobe guy gets it. He's a winner. You can't always just bring pleasure and pat everybody up. He didn't say, yo, Kelly, you're kind of not playing well, but you know it's all happening for a reason, buddy. Relax, no pressure. He just said, dude, you suck. It was like that. And I'm just going, okay. This is the real Kobe.
Can I tell you a fantasy of mine? And I say this knowing full well that my employees are listening right now. So I've asked them all to give me aggressive feedback in real time to my face in front of the entire team.
Okay.
And the reason that I want that, one, I just want to know the truth because it's the only way I'm going to get better, so I'm never afraid to look stupid, and I'm certainly not afraid to admit when I'm lost. 2, I want to set the standard. I want people to see that you should be able to emotionally deal with somebody telling you that you suck when you suck. My fantasy is to have that kind of environment here at Impact Theory where if you're sucking, like you don't need to go out of your way to be mean, but the pain needs to be felt. Because I really believe what you were saying, that certainly as adults, and it's probably true for kids as well, you will learn when it hurts.
Yes.
And the only, like, it breaks most people, and this is why people don't use the strategy.
Yes.
Most people at the free throw line, Kobe says you suck, that ends their fucking basketball career, dude. Like, if they were a 14-year-old kid and Kobe came and said you suck, 999 out of 1,000 kids break, the other one kid goes on to be the next Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah.
So but I want to be in that world because it's made me sharper. Now, I came up in the business world, so in the business world, I came up hard. I had mentors that were ruthlessly mean to me. And in that process, I thought, there are times I fucking hate them so much I can't see straight, but I know they're making me better.
Yes.
And so I went back every day. And I developed this notion that the entrepreneurs that do the best are the ones that can self-soothe the fastest.
Yes.
Because I needed to hear it. I needed to know that I sucked. Then I needed to go very quickly, get my head back on, take that information, and improve.
Yeah. So one of the things, I was talking about Dr. David Buss, there's this test called the Dark Triad test, which, again, anything important like this, nobody ever learned it in school because schools are too stupid to take real powerful science and apply it to life. But the Dark Triad is a worldview barometer for everybody watching. You can take it. There's a different free Dark Triad test online. It tests for 3 main traits, negative qualities: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and being psychotic. And I personally tested thousands and thousands of people. It's the most accurate test. And what happens in narcissism, okay, one of the symptoms of a narcissist, it's not just like, oh, I like to look in the mirror, right? That's what we think of narcissism. One of the classic symptoms is very thin skin. They're always offended. If you have a friend that anything you say constructively, they fall apart, it's almost always narcissism. Even if they're introverted, there's multiple forms. There's introverted narcissism, extroverted, exploitative, all these different subfacets of narcissism. But we live in a society that's very narcissistic. You're told like, oh, everybody's a winner. No, not everybody's a winner. That's like saying everybody's blonde. There's a definition of what blonde is. Blonde is like this yellowish hair. So if you lose meaning when you start going, everybody's blonde, well, everybody doesn't win. And the sooner you wake up to that biology is ruthless, man, then you get a little fear in you. And when you get a little fear in you, you start listening. Because if you're truly afraid, you listen. Let a little fear come in and drive you and motivate you. Now, when I was about, I don't know, early 20s, I was in Mississippi with these 5 mentors, Guy Allen Nation, Gary Townsend, Dr. Gordon Hazard, all these guys I really looked up to. They were like 60 years old. And they were the people, like the only millionaires I'd ever met. I didn't grow up. I was born in Long Beach, Compton kind of area. Never was around anybody who would make $100 grand a year. So I meet these guys. They're like, come, we're going on a hunting trip in Mississippi. I go down there and, we're in these lodges, cabins, and then we're having hot dogs over the fire. And they start drinking a little bit. They were normally nice, kind of Southerners. And they kind of got me. They're like, so, what do you want to do, man? And I was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. And they're like, oh, really? And they go, what does IRR mean? And I was like, I have no idea. I mean, like I didn't know that it meant internal rate of return, right? So one of them just goes, you know, you're never going to amount to anything. There's zero chance you'll ever be a successful entrepreneur. They all laughed, and I was like, I don't cry. I probably the last time I got close to crying was that I was just like devastated. But you know what? I remember laying in bed at night going, no one will ever make fun of me again for not knowing about finance. So I became a certified financial planner. To this day, I can hold my own around the most powerful businessmen in the world. They might know more than me, but I don't come off as a fool. So that was a turning point, pain moment, that Mississippi moment for me. I've sought those out. And the one problem is the more successful you are, the less people can say that to you that you'll respect them. But I'm always trying to feel myself, you know that old cliche, you'll never be the smart person in the room and all that. I have a better way to say it. Be around people who make you uncomfortable at the ego level. When you feel uncomfortable in settings, that is when the learning. It's not just who's smarter, because sometimes smart people don't help you. There's many forms of IQ, there's emotional, but get around someone where you're like, I kinda don't fit in. And because we're all narcissists because of society and Instagram and all this, and I'm guilty of that too, we don't like to be uncomfortable because a narcissist's story to themselves is, you're the best. And so your worldview is messed up. That's a wiring issue. Let me put it this way. I meet people who think they're smart, okay? What it really tells me is they've never been around actual smart people. If you're really smart watching this, let's say you have 155 IQ. That's what Bill Gates has and Albert Einstein were up there. My step-grandfather had 155 IQ. He speaks 14 languages fluently. He can write Chinese. He's a chess master. He can play 3 other chess masters without looking at the board while they look at the board and beat all of them. If you're smart, you can do that. If you're not, I got good news for you. Warren Buffett says you only need about 125 IQ to be very successful. But it's better to stay in your lane and just go, I'm not that smart, but you can hire 155 IQs. But that's an example of what I'm talking about, of this rewiring.
Right.
So these practical things will change your life.
All right, since you have a concept called never be the bitch of your own mind,
yes.
What do you mean by that?
Your mind is driven by deep evolutionary drives. So, for example, narcissism is a protection mechanism, right? So your mind wants to tell you you're amazing. It makes you its bitch. You have to override that and go, you know what, I'm not that amazing. So let me go learn from amazing people.
Do you have methods for people to do that? Because I think that's so important. So I tell people, don't trust everything your mind says. Certainly don't buy into all of your emotions. Just because you have emotion doesn't mean you have to act in accordance with that. But how do you help people get over that? How do they overcome that?
I think humans, for the most part, learn by osmosis. So it's hard to lecture people into success. But what you could do is you could inspire people to understand this. So for example, if school system could find all the 14-year-olds and find out what they admire, right? So the reason I show Lamborghinis and Ferraris is I got a lot of young followers. And you know what 19-year-old guys like? Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So I show that part of my life because then they listen to the other stuff. So first you gotta lead by inspiration. This has been proven over. You cannot pound stuff into people's brain. People actually do the opposite. When parents tell their kids, you gotta read, nobody reads. But if I show Lamborghini and Ferrari, which is the reward that people want, and then people, how do you get it? I said, see all these books, I read them and put it. Then people, I have more school kids reading books, I think, than anyone in history. I don't say that cocky. I'm telling you, it astounds me because all I had to do was put up a video with Lamborghinis. Right. And so being the bitch of your own brain, the way you learn not to be, the easiest way is to be around people who aren't the bitch of their own brain. Like Joel Salatin, my first mentor, I was lucky enough right out of high school, instead of going to college, I was with him at 19, and he is not a bitch of his brain. He's a man of, he wakes up and his life's more like a duty. He knows his duty, and whether it's hard or easy, he plows through it. So every day, for example, when you have breakfast at 6 in the morning on a farm, he writes out an organized thing on what he wants to do for the day. When you're the bitch of your brain, you go, I'm just gonna freewheel this day. It's very hard to be organized. Dogs aren't organized. You ever see your dog organizing day? So if you want to, you can either act on the animal side, which is just a wing life, or you can operate from a sense of logic and duty. And so I learned somewhat, I'm not even as good as Joel, to not be the bitch of my mind by just being around him for a while. And so that's the best way. Find somebody that you look at them and you go, this is a person of discipline, motivation, self-motivation. They don't need external motivation. They're motivated from within, and spend all the time you can around them. You know, like someone wants to learn from you, I tell people, go walk up to Tom or a company like this and say, yo, I'll work for you for free for years if it need be, because I need to be around. It's cumulative hours. Arnold Schwarzenegger, in his book, one of the great autobiographies, in my opinion, Total Recall, he has this principle, it's called reps and sets. He said, if you want muscles, it's reps and sets. Hours in the gym. And some people, you know, there's a lot of books now, and here's how you can work out 15 minutes a day. No, you can't. You're never gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger if you work out. I don't care what biohacking crap you do. Please, spare us. Let's return to common sense. You want to be Arnold? You got to do what Arnold did. In the same way, if you want to learn from mentors, if you think 5 minutes with a mentor will be enough, you don't understand how deeply rooted your wire circuitry is. You got to rewire, and it takes reps. Instead of reps and sets, it takes hours and days, or days and years. And so I think that if you're young watching this, don't try to become a millionaire too young. Because what you should do when you're young is work on the circuitry part. And then the money will come. Alan Nation told me that. He said, don't try to become a millionaire in your 20s. And I didn't listen to him. And I wish I had. And luckily I kind of listened to him, but I should have listened more. And so if you could take those formative years and just go on the adventure of like, that's why I went to India on a leper colony and went and lived in Amish. Because I was like, Amish, all the good stuff you have, reprogram my brain. I'm sure on the narcissism score now I score around 40 to 50, which isn't horrific, but isn't the best. Like and I guarantee you, if I hadn't gone to the Amish, I'd have been an 80 narcissist. And my life would have sucked. But now at 40 is kind of acceptable. 42 is last best. So it took me 2.5 years to do. You know? And so I think even as an older person, man, my dream in life, even today, is to find some badass and trick them into spending like 8 hours a day with me for 3 days a week. And whenever I do, like I said, 45 minutes with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was so motivated. Like 45 minutes with Arnold Schwarzenegger lasted me like 7 days. And nothing, I'm not big in self-help. Like I watch people motivate me. That guy's a monster. I'm a big believer in going to conferences. Berkshire Hathaway conference. It's the first week of May of every year. These dudes are going to die soon. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. You can buy a B share for under $500. Buy a B share, you get a free ticket. It's insane. You sit there with 2 men on stage in a stadium of 18,000 of the top investors in the world. Wow. Cost you under $500. You sit, there's only one day. I fly into Omaha and fly back out almost the same day. And you walk out just motivated. You're with the guy that their business, you know, we meet businesses and like, I'm doing 100 million here. They did 200 billion in revenue last year. And they're two jolly guys that just kind of have fun with life. And I'm like, wow. And first year I went, I sat next to a guy the whole time, didn't pay attention to him. And then on the way out, I talked to him and I found out he's basically one of the richest guys in Europe. And we became friends and he flew me to Germany to speak to, he has 17 CEOs who work for his different companies. He said, come meet. And then he walked me from the hotel to do the speech and back. And I talked to this guy, his name is Norman Rentrop. And he, in 2 hours walking to and from the thing, he explained how he built a media empire starting at age 12 to now he's in his 60s. He let me download 40 years of experience. I think he's a billionaire. I'm not sure. He's maybe not quite a billionaire, but 40 years. And that was, I think it's not coincidental that the next year I grew on social media. Because he did old school media like magazines and newsletters, and he told me like, here's how you do it. And it just absorbed, and within 6 months, I was doing all the big stuff that people see on social media. But that hinged on me getting, some people, you know a good thing for activity, all you hard workers, get out of the house. You will not grind it in front of your laptop 14 hours a day to success. Go to conferences, go to seminars. There are great ways in the modern world to just meet people. You never know who you're sitting next to. I've probably gone to 20 events in 20 days. Now that's a little much. I go in bursts, okay? I'm a little bit burned out, you can hear my voice. But it was insane that the data, I mean, looking at cryptocurrency stuff like Bitcoin, if you put $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, you would have $75 million today. 100. Wow. Is that working hard, or is that making good decisions? And so for all of you who are really big on the hustle your ass off, hustle in the networking side. It will help you because then you learn what to do from them. And the sad thing is, if you start a business and your first business doesn't succeed, the way your brain works, you have dopamine receptors. Now scientists have found that dopamine receptors add or subtract. So dopamine is the hormone or the chemical in your brain that is the reward chemical. There's multiple ones, norepinephrine, oxytocin, all these. But the way dopamine works is like when you go shopping and you buy cool shoes and you feel good, that's a dopamine release. And dopamine drives us. And what happens is when you fail, your body, they're like little hairs. They're not actually hairs, but we'll pretend they are in your brain. They fall off. You get less of them. And the penalty for having less dopamine receptors is you become less ambitious. When you succeed, you actually grow more. It's new science showing this. So the point being, I'm not a believer in having people fail in their first business. Forget that. Build a small business that you're sure you can pull off. Even Dean Smith, maybe the greatest basketball coach, college coach, him and John Wooden, he said he was never a believer in setting goals. You ever heard the thing, shoot for the stars, because even if you only hit halfway, you go to the moon? He said, he called BS on that. He said, make a realistic goal, hit it, and then make another one. You don't need, so I meet entrepreneurs like, I'm grinding away, what are you doing? I'm building $1 billion business. The guy wrote me an email, dude, I'm building $1 billion business. So I wrote him back, it was an email, and I said, oh really, have you ever made $100 million business? No. Have you ever made a $10 million business? No. This is our email chain. I should have screenshot. I was like, no. Have you ever made 100,000? No. And I said, so let me get this straight. You're kind of like the dude, there's a lot of stairs in front of you. There's like 20 stairs to the top. And you're going to do the jump from 1 to 20. You know what happens when people jump too many steps? You can skip maybe 2 or 3 steps. But one of my school teachers, Randy Thompson, when we were growing up, he tried to jump up some stairs and he was holding books and he tripped on the 3rd step and hit his nose on the concrete. And he says, most painful surgery known to mankind to basically unplug your nose from, he cracked all the bone up into his face. Oof. And that's what most entrepreneurs do. They go, no, I'm going from 0 to 1 billion. No, man. As Warren Buffett said, today's the World Series Game 7. The way to win a baseball game, it's safer to just hit base hits. And if you hit a lot of base hits, next thing you know, you get a home run. And once you've done it a few times, you'll have so many dopamine receptors that you won't fail. And so I highly recommend if you're watching. And by the way, narcissism is associated with overambition. There is such a thing as being too ambitious. There is such a thing as being too ambitious. What I always tell people, you can have massive vision. So one day your vision is, like one of my visions, I'd love to own a pro basketball team, okay? But it's not in my annual goal. So you have goals that are short term. They're one day. I like to set one day goals. Most of my goals are just one day. But I'll have a vision that's longer. So don't confuse vision and goals. It's a big mistake. And especially now that the science is out about dopamine receptors, you have this huge vision, you jump up 7 stairs, you trip, fall, hit your nose, and most people never come back. You know, win when you can, even if it's small wins. Better for the brain.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, before I ask my final question, where can these guys find you online?
You can go to TylerLopez.com. You can do Instagram. It's my Snapchat if you want to see behind the scenes. It's all, I got at Tyler Lopez at almost everything, all verified. So I got a Facebook account, Tyler Lopez Official.
Perfect. All right, final question. What is the impact that you want to have on the world?
Oh, man. What's the impact? Okay, I'll give you 2 answers. One, it's probably narcissistic of me to think that I can really have an impact on the world. So part of my answer is what the philosopher said, let every man sweep his own front porch and the whole world will be clean. So I guess if I can figure out the puzzle of life for myself, and maybe a few people see something, then they sweep their own front porch, we'll have a clean world or a cool life. So that's the non-narcissistic side. You want to hear the pre-Amish? Yeah. Pure narcissistic? No, not pure narcissistic. I try to suppress that part. I mean, you know, I call it the tombstone goal. I think you should think about your tombstone and just reverse engineer. So you go, what do I want my tombstone to say if I live to age 100? In order to get that, what did my life have to look like at 90? And at age 90 to get that, what did it have to look like at 80? And you work yourself backwards to today. So my obituary goal, my tombstone, I'd like my tombstone to say, here lies a mad scientist. The world needs more mad scientists. And
people that are trying new things.
Yeah, like I said, check out Mahatma Gandhi, check out Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. But those were mad scientists. And go through the adventure of life with that little mad scientist twinge in your eye. And that's all I got. That's all I got.
That's pretty good. Ty, thanks so much for coming on the show. That was fantastic. Guys, this to me is the ultimate tale of somebody who was unhappy with the circumstances but didn't want to sit around and do nothing about it. He knew exactly what he needed to do, and that was to find out the answers. He reaches out to his grandfather and says, Grandpa, tell me what is the one thing that I need to do, the one book I need to read, the one person I need to talk to that's going to give me the shortcut that I need to get ahead. And his grandfather thankfully wrote him back and said, there is no shortcut. You're going to need to find a lot of people to give you a lot of advice if you want to get where you're going to go. And so Ty put himself on a mission to get out and get mentors, and long before he had any reason to be able to convince these guys to do it, he did by, like he said earlier, being willing to work for free, by being willing to do more than anybody else. And in the research, the thing that I found most fascinating is years and years and years after working with his first mentor, he is still singing his praises. And he said that Ty set the bar for every apprentice that he's ever had after, and he's still never seen anybody that had the kind of drive and determination that Ty did. And I think that's what marks his cause. He may think of himself as a mad scientist, but what I see is somebody running systematic experiments to find out what works, always being willing to learn, always being willing to fail, learn from that, try something new, get the result, and ultimately you do that on a long enough timeline with a willingness to always learn, grow, and get better, and you get the man that has literally pioneered social media. So it's really, really incredible. There's so much to learn from him, but you have to be willing to be humble and to look at what you can learn from it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you coming on.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this community. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. You're going to get weekly videos on building a growth mindset, cultivating grit, and unlocking your full potential.